guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it!
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Who are those guys?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Well, I don't know how to remove this now. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And what can we tell you? We are the Other Alliance Guys. A presentation, although I'm sure Jay regrets it these days, of alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance, the, TNA, MLP, other various independents around the world. My name is Tim. I am sometimes Alliance North, but more importantly, I'm joined by our fantasy booker, Dave Scooby. How are you, Scoobs?
Doing well. Fall has fallen and lovely weather, so just enjoying that.
Yeah, best time of the year for sure. And fresh off of training his own flying lizard and contractually owed yellow Reese's Pieces.
Only yellows, damn it. I better not see a fucking orange or brown.
Just Total Nonstop Jeremy, or sometimes Championship Wrestling from Jeremy, whatever he feels like. It's like Johnny Nitro, or it's like Johnny Thunder, or whatever. Yeah, that's what it is.
I like it.
Hey, Devin's here. Okay, these things are working. That's good. They weren't a minute ago. I don't see Willie's comment coming up. Oh, God, this thing again. Double D, good to see you, though, my friend, as we still try to work out the controls. But where's Willie's comment? Willie Bowen. I don't see it to put on the screen, but Willie wrote, "Hi guys, Tyrus will be in a new movie. Have you heard about this, guys? It's about Formula One race cars. It's called Monaco, and Tyrus is playing the racetrack."
Wow.
Oh, Willie.
Wow.
Willie. We love you, Willie. That is relentlessly brutal. What are we talking about today, fellas? We're going to do an NWA-adjacent show. I see people in the chat. Shout out if you're here, and we'll throw you on. We're going to talk about the NWA being on tour. They just did a couple of shows this weekend, I believe. Dave was saying in New York.
Yep.
We want to do just a quick little, where are they now? And so nice to see what's happening with NWA, former inaugural returning to NWA TV champion Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints, now in NXT. Fantastic. I don't know. I don't think we're going to talk about Sawin. We'll let Jay do that stuff. We were just saying backstage, none of us watch the NWA right now. We watch NWA-adjacent stuff.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I watch wrestling anywhere from 4 to 5 nights a week on any given week, and NWA aren't letters that I see in the corner on my TV.
It's got to get better. Got to get better. We'll talk a couple of updates because there's a second Colby Carino benefit show. Jeremy's going to give us unmirrored for me. Jeremy's going to give us the TNA Victory Road results. I'm going to tell you about a brand new MLP event. Looks like it's another small kind of venue for a charity thing. It's got some good stars in it. And Dave's going to talk about some fantasy booking, about who he would bring into the NWA to make it better, so we would watch it. And I look forward to that as well. So I don't know, Dave. You want to talk about the NWA on tour in Queens, New York, and in Melville, New York this past weekend?
Well, this weekend they did 2 shows, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Basically, it's almost like I'm not so sure if it's a bot show, but it's a show featuring talents from the NWA. With it's not so much a territory show. It's almost like they're an affiliate. It's with CEP, Championship Entertainment Productions, and they had one in Queens on Friday, one in Melville, New York on Saturday, and I mean they had some names, but they had some of their local guys also wrestle, so it wasn't too bad. They had a couple pre-show matches, and I'm not sure if pre-show that I don't know if they were actually, if it was taped or any of this was filmed for use by the NWA. But I mean, anytime they do a show, if they can get somebody there, even with your iPhone, filming part of the match. I mean, Jay filmed almost all of Natty's match back at Crockett Cup.
Yeah.
And we were unable to see it unless you watch Jay's. So, I mean, give us some highlights. This is what I'm saying is if they do a secondary show like they had back in the day of NWA USA, they can highlight some of these shows that aren't being shown as quote-unquote NWA Power. So it's one of these, I mean, it is what it is that they had these shows over the weekend. They had a few NWA talent and NWA-adjacent talent show up. I mean, Wrecking Ball Legursky was there. He defeated Papa Don, who has been on several shows for the NWA as an enhancement talent. Natalia Markova is the current CEP Women's Champion, so she was there as well. Brian Idol defended the TV championship both nights. The Slime Balls were there. You had a NWA World Championship match featuring Tom Latimer, although, quote unquote, he's not the champion. It hasn't been shown him losing yet, but in real time, he is not the champion. Throwbilly is, but due to the fact that it hasn't happened on NWA TV, they still have him out there with the championship belt, which I think it's sort of crazy, but I mean, you're living in Billy's world, so who knows? But the second show in Melville, New York, they had a couple pre-show matches. Like I said, this is just local talent. I'm not sure. I really couldn't find attendance stats for how many people showed up to these shows, but we'll see if they're put out for any of the matches are basically put out on the YouTube channels. I'll be interested to see that. But let's see. Brian Idol, he defended the TV title once again. He retained it. Slime Balls were in 3-man action. Markova, who is the women's champion of CEP, defeated Kylie Page. Wrecking Ball Legursky won again. And there was a tag team championship with Tom Latimer and Joe Ocasio. They were taking on QGTM of the team of Pat Fitzpatrick and Jay Messiah. But Sean Wachter ended up taking Joe Ocasio's place. I guess Joe was injured in a backstage segment. So now Tom is another champion. He is a tag champion, but they're going by Freebird rules. So there's 3 guys, but only 2 championship belts. So we'll see if any of that stuff makes any of the YouTube channels that NWA is affiliated with. And I think it's a good thing that they use some of the talent that is featured on these shows, whether it be use them as undercard for Power or at some of their signature live events. It's always good to see. I mean, the Slime Balls had to start somewhere. They've moved up, and it's one of those things that if you see them on the territorial shows and then see them on Power a couple months later, you at least have an idea of who they are and where they're from. So it's in my opinion, it's a win-win for everybody involved.
Right. It's just strange that, I mean, I don't know where to begin. I guess the strangest part is, as you mentioned, we're all kind of shaking our heads. Like, presumably that means Tom Latimer showed up with the belt.
Yep.
And I'll hand it right over to you guys, but the strange commitment to the time, like 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago, they're back now. Like, we're not going to be living in the present. This is the internet age. That, I don't know, the shit just doesn't fly for me anymore. Over to you guys. Jeremy, over to you.
I, as a wrestling fan, can appreciate wanting to keep kayfabe alive, brother. It's 2025. There's other ways to go about doing that. This is a prime example of why kayfabe needed to die off, though. You know, with social media nowadays, the internet in general, everything is available as long as somebody had an iPhone, somebody had a smartphone. You know, that's all it takes now. You just have to have this little thingy in your hand, and then Google. You don't even have to know how to put it on the internet. You Google how to put it on the internet, and that'll tell you how to. You know, you can be an 83-year-old grandma,
right,
and start posting content. So the idea of trotting Tom out with the title, just as the person that won the title, would leave a bad taste in my mouth. Fuck your business, man. This is I would tell you, fuck your business. This is 2025, dude.
Yeah,
I was that. You made the decision to put it on me. Put it on me.
Yeah, look. If your business, Dave, like in pro wrestling or anything else, has to be like, the only way we can do this financially, because it always comes down to the money. I get that. Is to live 2-3 months ago and like keep a belt on some guy who lost it at a show that I think you went to, didn't you? Maybe you didn't. Yep. Jay did. You went to it. Okay, great. Crockett Cup.
Crockett Cup.
And here we are in September 29th. And look, if you're watching this on September 29th or after this date, spoiler alert, Tom Latimer's not your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And he hasn't been since
middle of May.
July? What date, Dave?
I think it was middle of May. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, it's been that long.
Yeah.
So, like, something's wrong with your business. Your business isn't going to survive.
Yep.
And I think, Dave, if I go... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Over to you.
It was May 17th, so you're talking over 4 months ago. Jeez. And you're still touting him as champion?
No.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, so you're saying that Throwbilly is your champion, but for the last 4 months you haven't had him hold the belt that he won. I mean, that's like, hey Billy, you guys put out a new album, but you have to wait 6 months to release the first song. You're done with your album 6 months ago. It's idiotic. Just, there's a time and place, and that time was back in the 80s and early 90s. Kayfabe is dead. You can believe it if you want, but there's facts that prove Tom Latimer is not your champion anymore. He lost at Crockett Cup. They're giving him more of a push after he lost the belt than they did when he had the belt. And that's just insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, guys. Well, I mean, it does to somebody, the guy who's, holding the purse strings and gets to do whatever he wants. But it doesn't make any sense as a business model. Like if he's, Mr. Corrigan has, in my opinion, always been of the mind, well, the NWA fans will follow, and I will do what I think is best for the NWA. I would do the same thing too. But regardless of what he does, he thinks we'll follow. And I stopped because they didn't allow me to watch being in Canada for the longest time, or told me stupid things about what I needed to do in order to watch. But beyond that, if I'm a new fan in the U.S. or anywhere else, I go, oh shit, the NWA. I used to watch that. That was a great brand. Let's look into it. They got a champion wearing a belt who hasn't been a champion in 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, thank you. Just move on, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that was good that came out of the NWA, though. Hey, the boss is here. Everybody sit up. Hey, Jay, hope you're well. Thanks for the call earlier today. We kind of figured out the opening video, but it was good. Devin likes the slime balls. I like the slime balls. Like, from what I'm not watching, but they reminded me of the Nasty Boys. So, that's not good. But what I was going to say was Ricky Starks, when the NWA television title returned, it was Ricky Starks who came out on top and got that push and go like this for like a day, and then he was gone. And I don't know that we saw him very long with that belt at all. But and I think it was Zicky who took the belt. They gave the belt to for a while. But Ricky went on to have something like, surprisingly, 4 or 5 years of time at AEW when he finally got out of that whole NWA fiasco. And, I always got the impression he wasn't too happy there, and I get it. But he was an AEW World Tag Team Champion twice. He was the FTW Champion, whatever you think of that title that was around for Team Taz.
It's the title. As far as Tony's concerned, it's a defensible title, so it's yeah.
But he had some success with Big Bill too, right? I don't watch AEW either, but it was nice to see a guy that I thought was like the most talented guy, in the NWA at the time. And now he's not only has he been NXT, I believe, North American champion. He's NXT champion. Ricky Saints, Richard Starks, he is the NWA champion, Dave. And that's exciting news coming out of the NWA. Would you look at that if you're the NWA and do anything like, hey, look, that guy came from us?
I mean, if they have footage of him, I'd at least put some footage out and do a congratulation. But it's like, I mean, who knows what they're thinking? I mean, there's so many people that have been with the NWA in the past, and then they're never given love because they moved on. I mean, if LA Knight ends up winning a championship, do you think they'll do something with him? I mean, like the boss says, more than Kingston. I mean, Eddie Kingston's back. I don't know what the thinking is or what the thought process is behind not highlighting that, hey, these guys were once a part of us. Congratulations. At least have a picture of them in an NWA ring and say congratulations on your title victory or on whatever.
Or even better, like Dave Marquez, do you remember? He used to do a special or two basically in the UWN when, like, I'm gonna remember, it was probably LA Knight, it was probably Eli Drake. Like, hey, look, here's a bunch of matches he was in when he was here. More than Kingston. So, like, Starks is more talented than Kingston was and is. Kingston's a better promo, though. Like, I was thinking today about that promo where he came out and said, they told me not to come out here on Power, and threatened to put this pencil in your eye. I thought, oh my God.
Yep.
Hey,
that was just stab him up. Yep.
That's right. Yep. But Jay Cal, 6 years ago today, I flew to Atlanta to be at the NWA press conference to announce NWA Power. 6 years ago today. Is it better or worse than it was 6 years ago? I ask everybody. Is the NWA better right now than it was in 2019? I don't know. Jeremy?
It's not the shiny new toy anymore.
Right.
I mean, you
Based
look back
on
and
the footage I watched, no. It's not a better place.
They didn't have big, huge stars, but they had people that you had seen wrestle before, so you had some idea of, oh, wow, Trevor Murdoch. Or, hey, that's that Nick Aldis guy. That's that Magnus guy from Impact Wrestling. So it's one of those things that nothing is ever as either good or bad as it was in the beginning. That this was one of those things that when it started, it just blew up because it was shiny and new. It was something different. But I don't know. Yep. It would take a lot to get back to that point.
The boss, whose name is Alliance Wrestling, like the guy who's been running this thing 20 years or whatever it's been, right? He says it's worse, but it's better recently, and that's the stuff they cover on the main show. If you're new to our little side hustle broadcast here, so that like Power is what they look at in the premium live events. When did you start watching, Jerry?
When did I start watching? Episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started. I didn't know about the 10 Pounds of Gold series.
Right.
Until I started tuning into the NWA podcast with Gary Horn.
Yeah.
That's whenever I found out about the 10 Pounds of Gold series. But whenever I found out that he was doing it, I started anticipating it and watched that first episode and watched all of the first season of the Lightning One era up into all the way up until the pandemic, and then I feel like I've got a Carneyland shirt in the closet. Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was one of the few that did kind of enjoy the Carneyland because it was still content, and we got to see different sides of some of the on-screen talent. I enjoyed the Eli Drake podcast, which was just him essentially talking about what he wanted to. I really liked the Allison K promo class 101. You know, I thought that was genius.
Yeah,
because it called out every cliche, and I have noticed. I don't want to say a lot of people took notice, but I have noticed that a lot of people don't do a lot of that now.
Right.
You know,
that's
so yeah, there was good that came out of that, but yeah, I loved those first few seasons whenever Lagana and Marquez were involved, and they were kind of like Billy's training wheels.
Yeah.
of sorts. And then whenever he lost those, he just started wrecking into every sign and street curb and everything and getting up and going, fuck it. I got money. Let's do this.
Yep. For me, it was much better than it was the last time I watched, which was the first episode on Roku. When I watched it and went, no thanks, I'm okay. Also, I'm still mad. I'm still mad about the whole go get a VPN thing. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, not over it. But it was nostalgic for me in a way. Like, my friend Jeff called and said, the Rock and Roll Express just won the NWA World Tag Team titles. What? That was my return back to it. Eli was great, and what's his name from Beer Money? James Storm.
James Storm,
yeah. Tim Storm, yeah, absolutely.
Storm was great. Had Josephus there for a little bit, and then the question mark.
Yeah.
And say what you will about it. I've got a question mark shirt hanging up in the closet too, and I've never worn it. I've never worn it. This is as far as it's touched my skin. I've never worn that shirt, and I never will. I'll get it signed by Aaron Stevens one day at a convention, and it'll go back into the closet. Probably get put up in a bag at that point.
Yeah.
And just put away.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good for Ricky Stark. Good for anybody who comes out of what we've always referred to lovingly as the minor leagues in the NWA, where young guys going up, old guys coming down. We love to see it all. But yeah, Ricky Starks I always thought was one of the most amazing up and comers, and he seemed to languish in AEW, and you hear things behind the scenes about he's not happy here or there, but NXT's clearly on fire. So,
and I watched that match, and I've watched the career trajectory of Obafemi, the person that he beat. They have big plans for Ricky Stark if they had him beat the ruler's streak, essentially. That man was untouchable. So he's probably going up soon to the main roster. But I keep your eyes on Ricky Starks Ricky Saints, because they clearly got huge plans for him as well.
Yeah.
The Drake and all this podcast. Oh, this must have been Carney Land, right?
Yeah.
What's causing all this?
Yep. And that was a time where my opinion on Nick Aldis changed a lot. He was a lot more comfortable in his own environment and everything, it seemed, and he came across more genuine and stuff. I enjoyed the What's Causing All This podcast. That was good.
This is a very honest statement. I love Tom Latimer. I hate all this. All this is greater than Latimer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. And I agree with that entire sentence. But there you go. I want to touch on, just in the interest of time, this and something else that follows. Speaking of NWA adjacent stuff, Colby Carino Benefit Show. That'll be Friday, October 24th in Jacksonville, North Carolina. $25 tickets. Now, there is a GoFundMe campaign for Colby Carino's emergency neck and spine surgery, which you can find online on the GoFundMe page. The money is to pay for essentially, all the stuff that gets piled up when you have neck and spine surgery. You can't pay your bills, and pro wrestling is your way to do it. But I have found out as well that there is a second Colby Carino benefit show, which I don't have we will next time. I'll get it up. The poster for, but it's in Philadelphia on November 21st at the Old Pine Community Center. also $25, but a second show out in Philly in November. And that's phenomenal. If you're in the Philly area, like some of our buddies are.
Yep.
Big Chris Dog's out there, and Jaden's out there, and other members of the alliance. You can get there and give to Colby and his family. Amazing. Best. I don't know that I'll get to the U.S. for a while, but it's nice to see the community, which is the second show, and I think the first show as well. Yes, is being promoted by Sean Henderson Presents Wrestling, and that's at S_H_P_ wrestling. Sean Henderson Presents Wrestling, out of New Jersey. And I don't know what the connection is there, but he's building a card and hoping to bring some talent in, and I'm just looking at some of the names. Right, Effie's going to be there. Nick Gage is there. Let me see, Jackson Drake. So I'll have to get that information as we get a little closer, but. Nice things to see, Dave. As for some former NWA talent getting some love from the wrestling community.
Yeah, and I'm hoping whoever Colby goes to, that wherever his surgery is, that it's a successful one. I'm hoping that since his dad is working with the WWE and working at NXT, that they have access to Dr. Andrews, who has done quite a few neck surgeries. But whoever's doing the surgery, I'm just hoping that it's a successful one. But it'd be great if Dr. Andrews, who has done stuff with, he's done stuff with, Stone Cold when he had his neck stuff done. Also, Kurt Angle. So it's one of those things that I'm just hoping that he's able to come out of it. If he's able to wrestle again, that's great. If he's not, I just want him to be healthy enough to live a normal life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all the best.
Yep.
Nothing but the best to Colby and his family. Hope everything goes really well.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to see if we can do championship wrestling from Jeremy right now? Are you ready for this? Because I'm not ready for this. Wait a second. Wait, my timing's off. Here we go. Okay. And now a segment perhaps we call. Oh, I'm gonna have to. All right. Championship wrestling.
Attention, everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh!
School is in session.
Oh boy, is this great!
Let me talk to you.
Get down to the nitty-gritty.
It's time for championship wrestling from Jeremy.
Okay. I don't know that way is going to work, because how do I remove it now? There we go. It's championship wrestling from Jeremy. We're talking about, where is it here? I got it. It takes time. I'm new at this. Victory Road.
Yes.
TNA Victory Road.
Yes. I've got some news for TNA this week and the results from Victory Road. TNA had a big news cycle this week, and only some of it involved WWE. Titles were dropped, people were hit, and I'm going to get into all of it.
Right.
So Tuesday of last week, former TNA Women's World Champion Masha Slamovich had a TNA internal investigation opened after allegations of domestic came out against her from her former partner Akira, who is a former MLW World Tag and World Middleweight Champion. Tuesday morning texts allegedly between Slamovich and Akira were posted on social media displaying verbal, emotional, and physical towards Akira from Masha. As I stated, TNA has opened an investigation and has seemingly suspended her, and she has been dropped from upcoming indie dates as well.
Ooh.
No mention was made on Thursday at Impact, but that show was pre-taped. There was no mention of it at all Friday on Victory Road, which segues us into that pay-per-view. I'll start with the pre-show where we got to see a three-way dance between Cedric Alexander and two-thirds of the Rascals. I missed pre-shows where we got to see a match or two in that hour and a half, 2 hours, however long you take. I missed those. So I'm glad that TNA does this. And while I don't always care for three-way bouts, this was a damn good match. The action started off hot. Trey Miguel just super kicked the shit out of Zach Wentz as soon as the bell rang, got him out of the ring, and then squared up with Alexander. And then it kept going from there. I didn't. It's not how I saw this match opening, and the action never stopped from that point until the 3, and the pin. But the pin went to Zach, who hit the UFO cutter on Cedric. Good little match there. We then got Steve Macklin, who was backstage talking to GM Miller, no relation to me. When El Messias came walking up, didn't say anything. El Messias is formerly Judas Messias in TNA. He's now signed with AAA and WWE, respectively. Just walked up and stared him down, didn't say anything. We then got AJ Francis with First Class Penthouse, and his guest this week was one half of the TNA World Tag Champs, Matt Hardy. AJ felt that First Class should be included in the upcoming tables match between the Hardy Boys and Dudleys at Bound for Glory. Matt obviously said no. This upset AJ, who then put him through a table and then got a match for a tables match with Matt Hardy later that night. We then learn about that the system is barred from ringside during the Moose and Ali match later on. In response, the Edwards, Brian Myers, and a returning JDC came out to the ring to call out the rest of Order 4. Director of Authorities Santino Marella came out to tell the system that not only will they get Order 4, but they will open Victory Road with their match. And that is exactly what happened. And we got a fun throw-together match, as a lot of things had to be changed around. JDC got the win here, pinning Hotch of the Great Hands after hitting him with the down and dirty. Was happy to see the Dirty One Dango back from injury and getting a little retribution. We then see TNA President Carlos Silva and Director of Authorities Santino Marella in the ring with Ash by Elegance. I was expecting an announcement this evening along the lines of, due to circumstances, Masha will not be competing, and instead number one contender Indy Hartwell will face someone tonight. Instead, Ash was in street clothes and had a somber look. She said that she is no longer able to compete and will be stepping away from in-ring competition and drop the title. She did not go into detail. I have looked online. I couldn't find anything other than just something personal in her personal life. She said that she loves TNA and it is her home. Maybe one day in the future we might see her come back. I don't know. But then the head scratcher here was, it was then announced that the scheduled women's tag team title match between the Inspiration and Ash by Elegance would be postponed until this coming Thursday night's Impact. And in its place, we would get a battle royal to determine who would go on later that evening for the women's world title. But it was the final two competitors in the battle royal, not the final competitor facing off against the number one contender, Indy Hartwell.
Right.
So I don't know what the decision was there. I have theories, but that match immediately started next. The participants included Lei Ying Lee, Zaya Brookside, who are our tag team, Danny Luna and Jody Threat, who are our former tag team, Jessie McKay, who I had no idea who she was, and she was the first person gone. The Inspiration and Heather and M by Elegance, and NXT's Kalani Jordan. You could tell this was thrown together and everyone was just trying to remember who went when and who should be left at the end. And at the end, we had Lei Ying Lee and NXT's Kalani Jordan. I think you guys can see where this is probably going.
I can.
Next up, though, we had Matt Cardona and the Hometown Man. It's not Cody Deaner. And I will prove this by the end of this match review. They were facing off against the Nemeth brothers. Cardona got a 2 count, after hitting Nick with the Unpretty Her, while the crowd was chanting Chelsea Green's husband, which was hilarious. Ryan attempted a sharpshooter a bit later on the Hometown Man, but the Hometown Man burst it into a roll-up and got the 3. Now, the news should be that the Hometown Man is undefeated in TNA, or that after the match, the Nemeth Bros unmasked the Hometown Man, and it obviously was not Cody Deaner. But no, that's not the news. The news coming out of this match, during the match, Joe Hendry was attacked backstage. He has a match later on tonight against EY. We then got Mike Santana, and his match was with NXT's Ridge Holland. I couldn't really pay attention to this match. I mean, I did, but all I could think about was he didn't pop up.
He didn't come up?
He didn't come up, I don't
believe.
Sakes.
Worked so hard on that.
Joe Hendry. See?
I worked so
Doesn't
hard.
happen all the time, damn it. It's not in the budget this week. They're getting me my fucking my back pay of yellow Reese's Pieces.
Please try again or contact support.
We're a professional podcast.
Jay is the support. Anyway, carry on.
But during this match, all I could think of was I didn't want to see Ridge Holland belly-to-back suplex anyone. If you know, you know. And I didn't see that, blissfully. Mike Santana, however, hit spin the block, and that secured the win over Holland. Mike's night was not over, though, however, as Ridge distracted him long enough for Trick-Ass Williams to come out and attack him and leave him laying in the middle of the ring. We then see Matt Hardy backstage get cleared by medical to go ahead and face AJ Francis in their tables match later. We got Moose and Ali, which was a good David and Goliath match. Ali never stood a chance against Moose without the rest of Order 4 out there. But what I didn't notice in the opening match between the System and Order 4 was that Alicia Edwards was out there, but Tasha Steelz was not. And the reason Tasha Steelz was not, because she was incognito as one of Mustafa Ali's dancers that accompanied him to the ring. And at the right moment, as the ref was distracted, she came in to deliver a low blow to Moose. And this allowed Ali to hit a 450 for the win. And Order 4 now has the advantage going into Hardcore War at Bound for Glory. I don't remember what that advantage was, if they said what it was, or it might get revealed this week on Impact. So I may have an update on that next week.
All right.
We then see that Joe Hendry was able to get cleared by medical and stepped up to EY. This was a good match that saw Hendry hit a fallaway slam and then an Olympic slam. That was very, very angle-esque. I just, very well done Olympic slam there. But he could only get a 2 count. After hitting a pile driver and not getting the 3, EY resorted to blocking the ref's views so he could low blow Joe Hendry. This got Travis Williams and load your jaw.
Just give it to your team. One task to perform here today. Joe Hendry's not loading.
Damn it. But this, the low blow got Travis Williams and Judas Icarus of the Northern Armory to come out just as EY was about to use a chair. Once the chair was taken away from him, this opened up an opportunity for Hendry to hit EY with the standing ovation on the chair for the win. The crowd went nuts. Little babies were cheering. There was peace brought about the world for a split second. World hunger ended. It was a beautiful thing. We then got the tables match between Matt Hardy and AJ Francis. This was a Matt Hardy match in TNA now. And by that, I mean he got his shit in whenever it was time for him to get his shit in. And then he got the win. At no point did I think that AJ Francis was going to walk away the victor on this.
He's not
and new TNA Women's World Heavyweight Champion Kalani Jordan. Moving on. Steve Macklin and Frankie Kazarian were up next. Going back and forth from those two, with both coming close to getting a pinfall but falling short. El Messias came out to ringside and confronted Macklin again, just kind of staring him down. Kazarian took advantage of this and hit Macklin with a low blow and then the slingshot cutter to become the new TNA International Champion. International Champion is different. We then got the main event of the evening. And this match and the last match were the show savers for me. But but this match was phenomenal. Myron Reed, the Young Goat, versus the Young OG Leon Slater for the X Division Championship. These two put on a barn burner that I could watch over and over again and have. I've watched it like 4 times now. It's fucking great. Reed started off kind of big brothering Slater, but quickly learned that was a bad idea. Slater turned on the aggression. That kid, he's real laid back and everything, but as soon as that bell rings, he's kind of like, Festus. Remember Jesse and Festus? Yep. As soon as that bell rang, Festus went from to.
I do.
Yes. Yeah. You know, that's kind of how Leon Slater is. There's no joking around or anything. He takes in ring competition very seriously. At one point, these two ran a sequence of moves that started in the ring, went to the floor, and then saw Myron Reed reverse getting tossed like a lawn dart into the Stun Dog Millionaire cutter onto the mats on the floor. Amazing.
Okay. Wow.
They had the crowd eating out of the palm of their hand with multiple very well-deserved "this is awesome" and "holy shit" chants. Slater hit Reed with a twisting suplex, which set up the 450 Swanton and secured the win for Leon, who walked out retaining the X Division title. But before he could walk out of the ring, Director of Authority Santino Marella came out and announced that he has already gotten the next contender for the X Division lined up, and pointed to a video package on their Tron, which showed Javon Evans of NXT. And this is a match that, since I've seen Leon Slater and Javon Evans, that I've wanted to see. This could be on the caliber of the match that Slater and Reed put on.
Amazing.
I'm very excited for this match. The only thing that I'm not excited for is NXT already has a bunch of TNA titles. Do they need another one? Will they get another one? Tune in next week to find out. Well, not next week, but Bound for Glory is next month, and I'll be watching that. So tune in then.
But
and
also
if you're not watching TNA and Impact and Explosion, I understand. These things happen. Life gets in the way. Schedules are busy. You've got other things to do. You're a loser for not fucking watching it, though.
I thank you. And once again, fantastic chapeau on your head right now. Very nice. Very good. No, it's fun. TNA is more and more interesting. I know it goes up and down.
Yeah.
Like anything else goes up and down. Do you think it's still like up and fresh with the NXT, crossover, or you think more effort is still being put into producing it better?
Yes. The excitement level is still there for it. With the exception of this pay-per-view, which, as I noted, had a lot of hiccups. You had the issue with Slamovich. You had Dana Brooke having to drop the title for whatever reason, and I hope everything is good there with whatever situation that she may be dealing with. So that threw a huge wrench into a show that is the precursor to what is their WrestleMania, Bound for Glory, next month. I'm hopeful that between Friday evening and I believe it's the 24th of next month, 27th of next month, around there, that they're able to get all their ducks in a row, get everything figured out, what's going to happen next, and they're able to, like I said, have their WrestleMania show and it be the most successful one that they've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's good news.
I do feel that as far as if the WWE doesn't step in and take over TNA and essentially buy them, I do feel that TNA is the viable number 2 wrestling company moving forward.
Number 2.
I don't care how much money Tony Khan has in his pocket. Think what you want. love AEW as much as you want. More power to you. They are losing viewers by an average of about 1,000 a week. That's people that are not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers guy and a facts guy, and the numbers don't lie, and they spell doom, brother.
It also doesn't help them right now, guys, that their main event and upper middle card guys are all wiped out. Everybody's injured. Like,
yeah,
they're focusing on Orange Cassidy coming back.
And I'm sorry, but for as great as those talents were, they were niche talents in a niche business that is competing against every other niche promotion that's trying to get their cut of that one red cent.
Right. Fair enough. I thank you. Now, before we hand this over to our anchorman, I have a very quick Alliance North Canadian stuff for you. Let me try to play this. Oh my God, it's working.
Canada's pretty awesome. Here he is, the one and only Alliance North.
Well, you got to get the hat now. There we go. All right, see? This is not going to work this way, Jay. It's not going to work.
Quick question.
Yes, sir. You in the back.
So, since this is Alliance North, will every sentence end with A?
It might, eh? Awesome. We honestly say that shit a lot. That's a real thing we do.
That's awesome, eh?
Okay, take off, eh?
Of all time. So,
I wanted to show you what's happening with MLP, and just saw this today. This is the poster for MLP. Oh, it's not loading. You got to be kidding me right now. Is that not coming up? That's not it. Jeremy's just laughing at me right now. He turned his camera off. He is spewed everywhere. This sucks. I blame everyone but me. All right. Well, there's. You okay over there?
I almost right my feet on my screen.
Not gonna work. All right. Well, it's nice to have the visuals, but we can live without the visuals. I'm sure we'll get it right one of these times. But October 27th, it's a Monday in Toronto. MLP is going to present a charity show they're calling Arena Rumble for a company called Arena that fuels programs and empowers individuals with developmental disabilities and strengthens the inclusive nature of the city of Toronto. As a parent of a daughter who has some developmental disabilities and is on the autism spectrum and who loves MLP, I thought this is going to be great. It's Monday night. My daughter doesn't live around here. Anyway, but we might figure it out. I really want to take her to that show. So they're going to be coming to Toronto in October 27th. The show will have Matt Hardy, Carlito, Colt Cabana, your NWA former World Heavyweight Champion. Microman Dave. Microman's going to be there, buddy. Microman. And reigning MLP Women's Canadian Champion Giselle Shaw. They have been confirmed so far for what Scott D'Amore is saying will be a stacked supercard. Do not know yet if they are going to film for Fight TV or Triller, whatever it's called now. But they weren't going to for the last show, and they did. It turned out great. So I'll look forward to that. It's really frustrating I can't get that because the poster's pretty great. But I put it up in the Discord. You could go to the Discord, you lazy sods. Make me do everything for you. Come watch MLP. It's like, I don't know, not expensive. So super cool, really good production. That's all I wanted to say. Take the hat off now. All right. So now, well, not now, but now we go to a segment we like to call I Respect You, Booker Man. Okay, it's too late now. Damn it. Anyway, this is the segment in where our fantasy booker, Dave Scooby, boy, this platform, we have a lot of fun. This platform makes this show worse than it should be. And nothing works. Nothing works, Dave. I Respect You, Booker Man with Dave Scooby. This week, Dave, and I'm not going to spoil it, who should William Patrick Corgan bring into the National Wrestling Alliance to help draw interest into the NWA? Lay it on me, brother.
Well, it's not a wrestler. It's someone behind the scenes, or someone who has been behind the scenes at other places. It's Freddie Prinze Jr. He's wanting to start his own company, and for some reason, it hasn't come to fruition. So come to the NWA.
Yeah.
It's already established. It's not as established as I'd like it to be. But granted, you have Billy Corgan to deal with. If Billy is willing to give someone else a chance to help him out, I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. has been involved in pro wrestling as a longtime fan, all the way back to going with his grandmother to see matches in Puerto Rico. He's been a former writer for the WWE and a host of their Raw and SmackDown shows. He also has a wrestling podcast called Wrestling with Freddie.
Right.
He also has a wrestling promotion that hasn't gotten off the ground yet, but it combines elements of being scripted along with matches and aims to have a unique lucha underground style where it's more of a TV show about wrestling, but the matches tell a story. So, I mean, bring him in. He's been in creative staff before, like I said, in 2008, 2009, worked for WWE, came back again in 2010, worked till about 2012, did storylines for the SmackDown brand, and he would provide acting notes to wrestlers. So it's one of those things that we may not get some of the bad segments or the fluff pieces that if he was able to come in, he'd be able to say, hey, in this show, cut this out. Let's just focus on the matches and the stories that get to these matches. And with the storylines, he's credited for writing back in the late 2000s, Jeff Hardy's first WWE Championship win at Armageddon in 2008. He pushed for, and it was the fans went crazy for it. So, I mean, bring him in, give him a chance. Who knows what's going to happen? He also hosts a podcast of Wrestling with Freddie with comedian Jeff Dye. They discuss the current state of pro wrestling, including WWE, AEW, TNA, and they offer their unique insights. If he was part of the NWA, I'm sure he'd make mention of, hey, check out the show I'm writing for. It's on Roku or it's on YouTube or whatever it's being shown on program-wise. He could funnel people towards that program. And like I said, he's been developing a new wrestling promotion that he believes will be a fresh experience, but for some reason it hasn't come to fruition. It has scripted elements. If you watch Lucha underground back in the day, it tells a story. They use their wrestling matches to tell a story. So, I mean,
It was good. It was ahead of its time.
now,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, help him build up the NWA, which is, it's not fully established, but it already has some people watching. And I mean, down the line, take his promotion, make it a territory or an affiliate of the NWA, that when it does come into being, he can possibly work with both. And everybody can either learn from the experience. Hopefully Billy's willing to give someone outside a chance. But it's one of those things that, I mean, if you add it to if he's added to the NWA, maybe he can help realize, like I said, what to cut the fluff out, tell a storyline, move in the right direction, not 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 3 steps back. You got to tell these stories when you have less than an hour to tell a story and keep it going week after week. You need to focus on the wrestling in tiny bits, tiny interviews, 60-second highlights. So, I mean, give him 30 minutes. Give him NWA USA as a trial run for a couple months. See how it goes. It's more content that you can put on any of your social medias. It's a chance to show what he can do, plus give your undercard another chance to be featured on programming and not just be undercard or enhancement talent. And I mean, in my opinion, it's a win-win for all of those involved. And like I said, with the Hollywood connections, he may be able to find somebody to help be an outlet, or at least have a highlight reel to show somebody to possibly get these signature live events on a platform that maybe $9.99. Pay and watch this. That it's either on an internet show, put it on YouTube, or you actually have a wrestling highlight show that you yourself create.
Right.
And you don't have to pay for all of it, but if some of it can be paid for out of people just coming to this website and paying $9.99 for this event, that you'd have 4 events a year, that you'd have your Crockett Cup, you'd have your anniversary show, you maybe have Sawin, and maybe have either your Hard Times or your Back to the Territory show, where you highlight everybody.
Right.
But in my eyes, I'd bring him in just because he has name and recognition. Give him NWA USA on YouTube or on another platform.
Right.
I mean, they did Power on X for so long. You can either put it on X, put it on Facebook, put it on all of them. Do a highlight show of your territories in NWA USA, plus show how your undercard got to Power. That this is how Joe Casio is sometimes featured on Power. This is how Soda Pop Hendrix is sometimes on Power.
Right.
I mean, it's basically starting off at the bottom and showing how they get to where they're going. That they could even do another 10 pounds of gold series. It wouldn't have to be 10 pounds of gold. It could be the championship series. And each week they could highlight a new champion or a classic champion and go, hey, Here's Kenzie Page. She's your former NWA Women's Champion, but here's some of her matches when she first started in the NWA, and go back to that first season of when she was a enhancement talent. Then tell the story of her going after the title belts, Pretty Empowered, breaking up, her and her sister taking over Crossfire. Highlight everything. Do a highlight show of, I don't know, maybe Trevor Murdoch. How he won
this
the
week we're talking about Trevor Murdoch. Let's give you
and
2
just show
minutes on
everything
Trevor
that he's done, and how he and Mike Knox were enemies, and now they're tag partners. And wow, Mike Knox is out, so Trevor has to go by himself now. What's going to happen? And it all leads up to the next season of Power. But give him something. I mean, bring him in. If his own wrestling organization or promotion isn't doing anything right now and hasn't gotten off the ground, give him something to do. He loves wrestling and he has connections. Let's see what he can do.
Yep, and he's got the pedigree, like you've pointed out. I couldn't agree more. You said 2 things here I'm going to forget if I don't. One was bite-sized wrestling bits. And it like, even if you're not a football guy like I am, nobody does sports, I'm using the word separately, sports and entertainment like the NFL Network does. That, like the NFL, like if you can pass by an NFL commercial, you're basically not, a man in North America if you don't go, oh shit, I want to watch that about 30 seconds in, whether or not you like the sport. Like, and they do these little bits where like a thing comes on and like, I don't know, you can pick anybody. Here's Concrete Charlie, Chuck Bednarik from the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's his story in 30 seconds about how he did this, how he did that. You show great clips, in this case of Trevor Murdoch smashing the shit out of Mike Knox in the cage or whatever. And, that's Trevor, former partner of Lance Cade in WWE. Trevor Murdoch is now former and the 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Two-time. I'm excited thinking about it. Do that bite-sized stuff. I agree. Let him do that stuff. The other is also kind of NFL related, and I've often thought, why don't people do this? My favorite sports interviews, which are the worst, like sports interviews are, we're going to try to score more points than them while keeping them from scoring more points than us. They're all the same. My favorite ones are when they have the coach, so think the talent, whether it's a manager or a wrestler, come by somebody who's, Aaron Andrews is down at the stadium, or in our case, you've got, what's her name? I don't know. You've got Sam or somebody like that going, she's backstage, like going with her. 20 seconds. You're on your way to the ring, blah, blah, blah. He says this, and he's off. And like a coach would just say, this is what I need to do right now. What do we need to do to make this happen? Yep. And he's off. I think it's different. I think it clutches in there. I think I'm interested in seeing what's happening. I think you got great ideas, Dave. You got to hire you, my friend. You're the one who has to run that show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it. Let's. Time is it? 7:45. Let's get out of there. Where can we find you on the socials, Dave?
Find me at Dave Scooby on X. Every once in a while, I'm over on Blue Sky, and that's about it.
What about you, Jeremy?
You can find me on Facebook at Jeremy Miller, and occasionally, like Dave, I am too on Blue Sky at Alliance Jeremy.
I don't think either one of you guys are ever on Blue Sky. I think that's just a bold-faced lie from both of you.
I have the app on my phone somewhere.
Somewhere. Okay. I also have Blue Sky. I'm never on. But I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Tim Wood. You can look me up. What was I going to say? Wow, there's nothing here for me to read. Join us. What day are we on right now? We're on Monday. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, for
4 p.m. Pacific.
7 p.m. Eastern?
7 p.m. Eastern.
If the teleprompter is broken.
5 o'clock on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock on Thursdays.
He's got it. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock on Tuesdays. 8 o'clock. So 5 o'clock on Tuesdays is the hour before Power, right?
Yeah.
Christ, I've only worked here for. Jay's on tomorrow. The Alliance guys are on Thursday. They're going to tell you all about the goodness that is the NWA and everything that is going on there. It's exciting. It's can't miss podcasting. I just trying to say things while I try to run the video. I'm missing something else, or I pressed the wrong thing now. There we go. Oh my God. You guys try working it. Anyway, thanks guys. Thanks everyone who's been watching. Till next time, we'll see you. My fingers there at the matches.
Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.